All right, boys and girls, it is the end of our trip. We launched out of the Osage Bluff Marina area, the core ramp here. My goodness, we had a really stellar day here in the latter half of August, and we got into them on several things, but I'm gonna let David kind of go into it. He's the expert, and quite honestly, today was David's world. I was just living in it because he was on fire with some big fish. So David, why don't you go ahead and get into it on just the breakdown of the fishing report for our trip today?
Absolutely. Okay, so we launched this morning and I wanted to take a look at the big pommy arm. And so I started out, somewhere around that 83 bridge area. And what I like to do is look for some of the structure stuff first. Anything that's a long elongated point, a run out, a flat, anything that also has that main channel butted up next to it. I call them feeding areas. It's where a bass can move up out of the channel, feed on top in that shallow, stump infested water, and then they can come back real quick. Well, this morning the topwater bite wasn't what I thought it was going to be, but I was able to catch several keepers, in that 2 to 3.5 pound range on a Texas rigged black and red flake worm, 3/8 ounce tungsten, and throwing it on 20 pound fluorocarbon. And I was able to get several bites and, like I said, catch several keepers. Well, as we progressed up the lake, I kept throwing my black market balsa, my size large. That's a Dave's Custom Baits black market balsa, size large. I know it may sound cliche, but let me tell you, this thing is worth its weight in gold, and Tyler saw that today.
Yeah, I did.
So the further up the river that I went, we ended up in the actual river proper of the Pomme de Terre River today, and gosh, 5 best, probably 18, pretty easy.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if he can see it or not, or if you can see it or not, but if you get in close, you can see the scratches on the back of this bait in the gel coat. There's a lot of big ones that had it in their mouth today. And I had one unfortunate happenstance. This will be a very good learning tool for everyone else at home. I had already caught 2 fish in that 5 pound area, probably high 4s, and all of a sudden I throw it down this laydown, and I just made a remark to Tyler how I had fished that same laydown several years ago in a tournament, and one bows up on it, and it's another great big one, and all of a sudden it pulls off. It had pulled the front split ring off of the bait. That was my fault. I didn't check the split rings. I'm always checking split rings, always checking my line, and I just got so excited in the moment of catching big ones that I didn't, and it actually pulled the front hook off, or else we'd have had another one close to 5, in the boat. But that being said, if you haven't tried one of my balsa baits that I make, and whether you buy it or don't buy it, that's up to you. I would want you to buy it just for the simple fact that it works. It's not something that catches fishermen, it catches fish. And once you purchase one, I know they're expensive, but once you purchase one and you fish it and you see the fish catches and the difference between square bill A and square bill B.
So really good point about square bill A and square bill B. I was throwing these KVD, I can't remember the size, it was one of the bigger sizes. I kept getting hung up quite a bit, and something I didn't realize that you were talking about was those plastic ones. They will they don't do well in wood, and we were retrieving mine out of snags nonstop, and his just were coming right through. It was just really cool to see it in action and really produce some really good fish.
It I as a rule of thumb, if I throw a plastic square bill, I'm fishing rocks. When I fish wood, I throw a balsa wood bait. It doesn't matter whether you're me or Terry Thomas or Stacy King. They're all friends of mine, and we all have the same opinion of that. That balsa wood bait is definitely what you want to throw on stumps and laydowns and any type of wood. So those are those are the two gems that absolutely worked for us today. You know, I feel really fortunate. You know, we had a great day. We caught, you know, as far as total fish, I would say we're over the 20 mark.
Yep.
As far as total fish.
Yep.
And as far as keepers, you know, between us, we probably had close to 8 to 10 keepers. You know, there were some of those that were just smaller keepers, you know, that didn't make the cut. They didn't get in the picture show.
Yep.
But you know, all in all, it was a great day. You know, we had great weather. You know, I love it when the sun's out and there's bluebird skies and light wind. I mean, in the fall, it's just what I look for, and I have a great time out here at Truman Lake. You know, it's absolutely fantastic. And if you haven't had an opportunity to come down here, you guys need to. Make sure you check out TrumanLakeFishingIntel.com.
Yep.
And join, because you can get other great videos and some tutorials. We're going to be doing tutorial videos on how to fish certain baits at certain times of year. And in order to be able to get all that information, you need to join. So
it's exclusive information. You know, this stuff is it's highly valuable, and it's going to help you catch more fish. Today, on the average depth, we were fishing pretty shallow.
Pretty shallow, 3 to 6.
Yeah.
3 to 6, I think, is the key depth range. There were several fish that got caught shallower than that, but 3 to 6 is where the predominant number of fish came from.
Yep. Water temperature, we were seeing started out in the low 80s here closer to the main lake, and went up. I saw about 84 was the highest as we went further up the Palm arm. So that's kind of what water conditions are pretty good. They're pretty good down here. It kind of muddied up halfway up the river, and then as we got further and further, it seemed like it got a little better.
Yeah.
But it was still pretty dingy up there.
Yeah, it was. And you also have to remember, you know, we're half a foot low now. You know, normal pool 706, and we're at 705 and a half. So it doesn't take much after the siltation over all these years, and whenever any wind blows at all, it really mixes that silt up and it can dirty up the water really easy. So that's something to keep in mind. But overall, you know, we had really decent clarity in the river, and had wonderful clarity down here. I mean, we're sitting here at Osage Bluff, you know, boat ramp, and we've got 3.5 or 4 foot visibility right here at the ramp. So, you know, it just works out. I really think that cleaner water, I know a lot of people don't like cleaner water to fish. I myself do, because I feel like that if I can see the bait, the fish can see it 10 times better. You know, so, and the action, like I'm going to come back to this balsa bait, the action that this balsa bait has is unlike any other balsa bait that you can buy on the market. I promise you that, because I test and tune each and every one of them. Each one of them starts in a plank of balsa wood. I cut it out the bandsaw, I hand carve it, I hand sand it, I build it, and it's tuned by me, not anybody. There's no other cooks in the kitchen. So when you get one, it's a fish catcher. I promise you.
Yep, it was just really awesome to see, because I was throwing a square bill, and just the production of mine versus yours, it was night and day, and just the way mine kept getting snagged up quite a bit. I mean, I caught a couple fish on my square bills, but this was definitely the big time performer. So, but no, that's pretty much it on the report today. So this will be up at TrumanLakeFishingIntel.com. Be sure to share with your friends and family. Let them know, you know, the type of information that you're seeing on these videos and in the written reports, and we appreciate it tremendously, because that's what's going to help us keep putting it out there for you. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll catch you on the next one.